Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. You can follow me on Twitter at Movies TV Mad and on Instagram and on Threads at Movies TV Mad X. A very warm welcome to Monday's edition of the Movies TV Mad Daily. It's been another terrible weekend at the box office, and they're all blaming everything but Hollywood. Hollywood is blaming you and me. They're blaming us for not going to cinemas, not asking why we no longer are going to cinemas. I can guarantee you they're sitting in an office right now blaming everyone but themselves. It's you. You did this. The peasants are no longer going to the Colosseum because we have no faith and trust in the Roman Empire. Instead of the Roman Emperor going, it's us going, it's a thumbs down from the public. You gaslit us. You made us feel attacked and hated, right? You had Brie Larson standing at a press conference talking about men, negatively about men, before she was going to be in a huge Marvel movie called Captain Marvel, you know, and talking about men in their 30s to their 50s. What did you think was going to happen? Men of that age are your predominant customers, and you attacked us. But it goes beyond that. It goes beyond the constant harping and barking about their ideology and the shit that they do. This weekend they released Furiosa, is that how you say it? Which is a spin-off of Mad Max Fury Road, and not enough people have gone to see that movie. That film was nothing more probably than an HBO Max or a Max movie released in cinemas. I actually thought it was going to be on Max, actually a platform that's not available to me. I haven't seen Furiosa. I have no intention of seeing Furiosa. One journalist said, you don't need Mad Max when you've got Furiosa. As Nerdrotic said, it looks like that you do. They're trying to replace men. They're trying to replace the natural order of things, and it hasn't worked. You know, it's very interesting. Back in the 70s, they made this film, and I forgot who's in it. But basically, the premise is that men and women swap their roles because women think they could do a better job than men. So men become domesticated and women go out, you know, they join armies, they do all the kind of traditional male roles, and basically the whole world goes to shit. Now, I'm not here to make a statement that women should, you know, we should go back to what women used to do and go back to men, you know, men being men and women being women as they were back then. That's not the statement I'm making here. But it is interesting because a similar thing has happened in society, that it's happening in Hollywood. They've replaced all the pioneers, all the titans of industry, and they've ticked all their little boxes, and it's not working because they haven't employed people who know what they're doing. CEOs like Bob Iger and David Zaslav know nothing about movies, about entertainment. In the old days, you actually had people running studios that understood what it took to be a successful studio. Those people have gone. You've got Bob Iger boring on about how technology is good and it's not our enemy. AI is our enemy, and we're going to learn that the hard way. But hey, it's a bit like how they used to say sex sells, and look what's happened to society ever since, right? So it's you. You've done this, Hollywood, new Hollywood. You've done this, and they're crying on Twitter right now, giving all these reasons. It's the marketing, it's streaming, it's the breakdown of the broadcast television system because there's not enough TV spots. People aren't seeing enough marketing. Stop making these bullshit excuses. You did this. You did this to yourselves. We warned you what would happen, and you've had another terrible weekend at the box office. And basically, it's always doom and gloom, isn't it? You get all these kind of people with their expert analysis. Why people aren't going to cinemas? Because you're not making good stuff. You're IP mining, you're IP farming, you're making prequels and sequels and retellings and reboots. and people are bored. And this summer they're going to release a film called Deadpool and Wolverine, which is one of the most laziest attempts at making a movie ever. But still, you're all going to go and watch it and enjoy it. Have a good time, and you're all going to be crying how it's the bestest movie ever, and how cinema is back, and how Ryan Reynolds saved cinema. No, one movie making money isn't saving cinema. It's like Top Gun Maverick. Tom Cruise saved cinema. No, he didn't. How did he save cinema? Is cinema saved? You, the industry, did this. You decided you wanted to replace the cinematic system with streaming. How is that going, by the way, with all your little streaming bundles? All of a sudden, you want your Netflix, your Apple TV, your Prime, all to be in one bundle. Before, you just wanted to do your own thing when you thought there was more profitability. You destroyed the industry. Now, streaming could have worked if there was actually good shit on streaming. It's just more mediocre shit. Look what's happened to The Witcher. Henry Cavill was The Witcher. Everyone was interested. They fired him because he wanted to make it great. We can't be doing that. We've got to bait and switch The Witcher and have a strong, powerful female instead. Well, Henry Cavill was just there for the marketing. How is that working out? How is Velma working out? How is it working out for you? Producing shit on your ideology. How is it working out for you? And then they moan about people not going to the cinema. They blame the audience. You know, there's one little twat on Twitter who I just muted after I quote tweeted him, saying modern day audiences eat shit. No, the way we would be eating shit if we went to the cinema and we went on streaming and consumed your shit. Modern day entertainment is dead. Modern day Hollywood is broken. They broke it, not us. It is not our duty to go and watch your shit. You called us homophobic for not going to see Bros, a gay romantic comedy. Well, not even gay people went to see that, by the way. How does that feel? That more gay people went to see Spider-Man No Way Home and Top Gun Maverick than a gay rom-com. It kind of tells you that even these diverse groups enjoyed the natural order of things, right? Because gay people saw these handsome lads in Top Gun and thought, oh yeah, they're nice. So they didn't care, it wasn't about them, but they got off on seeing those guys, right? I'm quite sure. But you see, New Hollywood thinks, you know, the old way of doing things is poison. So they've destroyed it. And it's the analogy of, as I say, that film where the women and the men swap places. I'm not saying that women have their place and men have their place. Ridiculous. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, once you say allow a certain group of people to take over, we can do a better job than the patriarchy. How is that working out for you? How is it working? It's not working very well, is it? Because there's a natural order of things, and old Hollywood understood that. Old Hollywood wasn't perfect. There was a lot of, horrible things going on behind the scenes, as we know. But they knew how to deliver great entertainment. Have you got all day for me to list the great entertainment? Happy Days, Friends, 24, Seinfeld, and I can go on. I can go on and on. The A-Team, Knight Rider, the V, the sci-fi series from the 80s, the Incredible Hulk TV series. I can go on. Dallas, Dynasty, Knots Landing. I can go on. Superman 78, Star Wars, Apocalypse Now. I can go on and on and on. These things were greenlit, pioneered and made by geniuses, because Hollywood used to go to film schools and they had a cycle. Like 1930s MGM, like I've discussed before many times on this platform, had an academy of excellence. How do we save entertainment? We get the 10% of good people still working in Hollywood to move outside California and the Hollywood system and start a studio system outside of that place. Because that place is a fucking problem. That place is a fucking mind virus. Get the good people out to formulate new studios, to have academic systems within their studios so they have a conveyor belt of talent coming through. That old MGM way of making movies, of having an Academy of Excellence, of having a map painting department, having great miniatures, having these people, these great artists. We need to bin CGI and only use it when we need to use it, when something isn't physically possible. I believe the old-fashioned way of making films is the way to win back the audience, because progress is not working. Let me say that again. Progress isn't working. They embrace CGI. Where did it get them? They want to embrace AI. Where is that going to get them? You're going to get people boycotting you even more. So the future isn't bright for Hollywood because they don't listen. They don't listen to reason. They don't listen to their customer. I think I said it on my bite-sized video yesterday. I've got my own theatre. I've got an amateur dramatics team. And after my play, I sit with the audience. We get a small audience. And I listen to them. And if they don't like what I do, I don't go, well, what do you know? You're just the audience. You don't know what it takes to make a play. No. I go, humbly I say, listen, I get it. And I'm going to take it, take it in here, and we'll try and be better for the next play. And that's what I do. And that's what, McDonald's, the great restaurants, the great companies have got a complaint system. The only people who don't have a complaint system is the entertainment industry. We've seen how Russell T Davies reacts to criticism. Do you remember when you went into his, Instagram and constructively complained about Davros being taken out of the prosthetics and being a real live person? Now he's just a kind of, I suppose, an alien Adolf Hitler, whatever he is. Where is Davros, by the way? I don't think we're seeing him this season, or maybe we will. I don't know. All I know is that they don't take criticism very well. We're toxic fans now if we constructively complain, and they're, Access Media love serving their overlords by calling us the problem. We're not toxic fans, we're just the customers, and we're fed up. I've told you before, we're the kingmakers, and we've decided to destroy you. We've decided to bring you to your knees, because that's all it takes to bring the Roman Empire to its knees, is not go to the Colosseum. And once people stop going to the Colosseum, this is how the old school Roman Empire was destroyed. You think you have no power, but you have. This horrible weekend of a box office and the previous horrible weekend of box office is, they're really, really scared. I sense it in their words. I hear it in their voices. I see it in their body language. They're starting to slowly understand that they're fucked. And deep down in a place where they don't talk about at parties, they know they've done this, that the natural order of things, the way entertainment used to be made, was the right way. And people are not coming to their shit. This has been a problem since the mid-noughties. Probably 2014, 2015 onwards, where they've decided to do this, decided to tick every box, decided to make films not on uplifting the audience, but on their own tainted extremist ideology. And it's simply not working. They have been destroyed by people like Nerdrodic. Like it or not, he's got over 1 million subs, and he can sink anything he wants because he's clever enough to do it. He did it with the Rings of Power. He will continue to do it. And at the end of the day, all Nerdrodic is a consumer who has used the internet to his advantage to say, I have to say something. I have to say something. This is wrong. They're gaslighting us. They hate us because of how we vote. Again, to be pretty clear, me and Nerdrodic have got totally opposite views politically, but everyone has the right to have their political views. And what has happened is people like Nerdrodic have stood up. And Nerdrodic is very good at what he does. He's got great presentation and he knows what to say. So this is what has happened. There's been a shift in power, and they're shouting in Hollywood, in their little echo chambers. And you can keep on denying that it's not down to you, that empires are destroyed from within. The Roman emperor has destroyed the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire has been destroyed from within. It's all about decision making. I never imagined that films and television shows would be so bad. I never thought I'd watch a streaming show called Kenobi where we're watching a little girl run away from grown adults and they're running, and you can tell they're running slow and bumping into leaves, right? It's a fucking joke. I mean, I'm not quick on the uptake, and even I fucking noticed that, and we were all fucking giggling because it's a fucking joke. And this is how much entertainment has fallen. And they keep on making the same mistakes over and over again. I'm consuming very little of modern day entertainment, but loving my current Smallville rewatch. Then it will probably be a 24 rewatch, and then it will be an Alias rewatch, whatever. Anything that's superior to a better day of entertainment. Because this, I believe this is the worst era in entertainment history, in terms of quality, in terms of a healthy profit, everything. And they sit there scratching their heads. It must be because we released something in May. No, it doesn't matter when you release it. It doesn't matter how hard you market something. If something's shit and the consumer, the peasants, no longer trust you like we used to, people are not going to consume your shit. That's what's happened here. And it's pretty obvious to everyone but them. And they don't listen to reason. They don't listen to outside voices. We've been here before. We've discussed this many a times. And I will continue to discuss this as long as the problem is solved. But I've said it many times as well. I do not believe that the Hollywood system can be fixed with the way it's being run today. And I believe the best solution to save entertainment is outside LA, Hollywood, and California. The good people must leave that cesspit and rebuild the system. Because when it ain't working, you move further out west. That's what you have to do. And it simply isn't working because the people there are lost in their own ideology, in their own hatred. They make things based on hatred. She-Hulk was made based on hatred of its own customer. We spoke about Captain Marvel earlier. Well, more men than women went to see that film, and it made over $1 billion, if you believe that box office. A film where the star attacked the target audience still went and supported that movie. When they made that horrible Charlie's Angels movie, the director blamed men for not going to watch the movie. This is where we are, customer blaming. Customer blaming is a new Hollywood vibe. They always blame their customer because they can't blame themselves, can they? They can't put their hands up and say, do you know what? It's a fair cop. We failed. Old Hollywood used to do that. Old entertainment used to say, do you know what? We missed here. We're sorry. We'll do better again. But they don't do that anymore. They blame you. They blame men. They blame anyone but themselves. How can you fix a problem when you won't admit there's a problem? And this is the problem. It's a tug of war between us and them. And they're in this system where they're protected. They're in this kind of oxygen tent, if you like. And we can't get through to them. They won't allow anyone but themselves in that oxygen tent. How can you fix something like that? You can't. It needs rebuilding by people with a better mentality. And I'm telling you, Hollywood is fucked. And we all know that Hollywood is fucked because they keep on doing the same things. They know what they're doing is not working, but they don't want to come off their parapet and admit that it's time to end the gaslighting. The culture war must end in entertainment. And until it does, nothing will change. We all know that, but everyone is living in denial who believes in this system. There are people who still believe in these people. Not many, but there are people out there willing to pay money to watch their shit. And Hollywood keep on doing the same things. IP mining. Still looking for the next IP, are you? What's the point of taking an IP when you're not going to do something good with it? Because I believe if you took a property and did something good with it, people would come in. It's not a really, a good original way of making entertainment, but still, if Disney did a great job with Star Wars and Marvel, there wouldn't be a problem with Star Wars and Marvel right now. If Russell T Davies came back and actually did what he once did with Doctor Who, although he kind of is, it's just exactly the same, but not as good. He doesn't really want to be there. He's just there. He's just going through the motions. Is it for the money? I don't care why. But it isn't working, RTD. He's made the Chibnall era look good. Just look at it. After 5 episodes, we still don't know who his companion is. I knew who Yaz was. She's a police cadet officer. She's a police constable who wants more responsibility. We have Graham, a cancer survivor. We have Ryan, a young man who suffers with dyspraxia, and his biggest ambition in life is to ride a bike because that's about a lack of balance, that condition. So you know who they are. You know what motivates them from episode 1. This is the problem with entertainment today. Even the good people we used to like and trust are not very good anymore. They're not allowed. They're not allowed to be good. And that can be the only reason that they're not any good. You can't be as good as Russell T Davies was. You can't be the man who gave me the waters of fucking Mars and then be the man who gave me Space Babies. It doesn't make sense. You gave me The End of Time. You gave me Midnight. How'd you go from Midnight? How'd you go from Turn Left to 73 yards? It doesn't make sense. Sorry for going back to Doctor Who again, but Doctor Who is a prime example of what's going on in entertainment today. And it's broken. And when I say broken, it's severely broken. You can't put it together with super glue anymore. You can't have a Top Gun Maverick save it. You can't have a Spider-Man No Way Home save it. You can't have a Deadpool and Wolverine save it. You're happy that Wolverine's wearing an accurate, canonical yellow costume? Bully for fucking you. It don't mean it's going to be a great movie, but whatever it is, however bad it is, however good it is, you're all going to say it's the bestest movie ever. Good luck. Enjoy it. Allow them to manipulate you again. But they'll never manipulate me again. Next year, James Gunn is releasing a Superman film. And finally, the talking will have to stop. We've recently heard who's going to be involved with the Green Lantern show on a platform I don't even have access to. Isn't that great? Now, that Green Lantern series, the other series they're developing as well, Booster Gold, these could all be put together as movies and released in movie theatres. But no, let's put them on platforms that most people outside of the United States don't have access to. If these people had fucking brains, they'd be dangerous. They're rebooting Harry Potter, taking him away from cinema and putting him on Max. As I say, if they had brains, they'd be dangerous and they'd actually make money. And then they wonder why they're not making money. Because every decision they make is as thick as fucking shit. Because the people inside Hollywood today are as thick as shit. We're not dealing with Coppola, we're not dealing with Scorsese, we're not dealing with the titans of industry who used to run these great, iconic, legendary studios. Once upon a time, Walt Disney actually ran Walt Disney. Fucking pioneer. All these studios were run by pioneers. And then they wasn't. They were run by ideological nut jobs who hate certain people, right? And make movies and television and streaming shows via that hatred. That's what we're seeing today. I mean, they always used to be an echo chamber. I mean, imagine all the World War II films we used to get, and we all know why that is, right? Because they never want us to forget. So that was always highly problematic. I mean, how many fucking World War II films can you fucking watch? I don't think we're going to get 60 billion movies about Palestine, are we now? I wonder why. And if you support Palestine, if you have empathy for the Palestinian people, they'll fire you. So they're getting what they deserve, finally. By the way, I think Mel Gibson was dead right with Passion of the Christ and Braveheart. Absolutely spot on. Two of the greatest movies ever made. How did you let him make Passion of the Christ Hollywood. Well done, Mel. That's what I'm saying. Well done, Mel Gibson. But anyway, Mel Gibson, one of the finest directors who ever lived, as well as being one of the finest actors who ever lived. But, you know, people are finally seeing them for what they are. And I think it's hilarious. I really do. It's hilarious. And now they are dying. They are dying. They didn't have to die. They could have carried on making a lot of money. They could have done. They've just made a film about Donald Trump. Who gives a fuck? Good luck with Rachel Ziegler and that Snow White movie. It's going to be funny. It's going to be a circus. Grab your popcorn. That's if that film is ever released. How's it going? Not very well, is it? You destroyed entertainment. I am the customer. It's my money. If you're not going to entertain me and you're going to keep on kicking me in the bollocks, I'm not going to go and watch your shit. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I am in charge. You're in charge. Not them. Not them. The game is up. They've always been a bunch of nasty bastards, but they used to be a bunch of talented, nasty bastards. That's the difference. And now those nasty bastards, nasty bastards who don't know what they're doing. They don't. And they're being owned. Badly. They're being owned. They can't handle it. And it's really, really, I enjoy seeing them being destroyed. It's about time that you, the public, understood what's going on here. And we're seeing them for what they are. Because once you see people like Russell T Davies making shit like RTD2, you know there's a problem. As I say, nobody suddenly becomes as bad as that. They won't allow him to be good. He's not allowed to be good. He's not allowed to even have a fucking proper looking sonic screwdriver anymore because it might be dangerous. It might pop somebody's eyes out. Are you mad? Are you effing mad? Yes, they are. This is where we are. They're not making money. They're failing. And we're going around this vicious circle. The less money they make, the more of the same they keep on making. So it's absolute lunacy. Nobody is going back to cinemas. No one's going to turn their telly on. No one's going to resubscribe to Netflix or this one or that one until you get it into your thick, stupid heads that we're not buying your shit. I used to buy the Doctor Who season box set every year. I haven't bought one thing from RTD2, and I may have mentioned this before, and sorry if I have. And you're thinking, oh God, he's repeating himself. But I even bought the Chibnall era box sets. Tells you everything, doesn't it? Because when you gaslight people, when you have such a deep hatred of certain people like us men, then people are going to bite back. People are not going to consume your shit. I'm sorry, it's not happening. So it's checkmate. It's the consumer versus entertainment. Who wins? Us. Every time. But the truth is, nobody is winning. Not one person is winning here. Entertainment suffers. The art form suffers. It's dying. And the only way to save it is to rebuild it with a new mentality. And as I say, the old-fashioned way of doing things. Forget CGI, forget AI, bring back matte painting, bring back beautifully detailed miniatures. I believe creatively the old ways were the best ways, and people will go back to watching stuff if you uplift them and you really give them something amazing to look at again. Because we're bored. We've had enough. We're uninspired. Do you know what the most viewed stuff on streaming is, by the way? It's all the old shows like Friends. That's what people are watching. Not the new shit they're making. That's why they keep on buying stuff of each other again. That's why Netflix is suddenly buying the old shows again. Because nobody's watching that shit. Because the people you're employing, the boxes you're ticking, have got no idea how to make great entertainment. I mean, I just take mediocre entertainment. I take anything right now. But people are watching and streaming old shows. Because the new ones are absolute shit. This isn't going to change everyone. They're not going to change. We're not going to change. So broken Hollywood continues to be broken.